The woman I loved, the one I was supposed to marry, scoffed at my career-defining opportunity, declaring, "I'm not moving to that boring small town for your job." What she didn't know was that her dismissive no would soon transform into desperate pleas for reconciliation, especially once she discovered my boring new role came with a $600,000 paycheck. I was 32. She was Rebecca, 29. We'd been together for 5 years, engaged for 1, living the quintessential urban professional dream. Our lives in the city were comfortable. I was a senior software architect making around $120,000. Rebecca, an interior designer, pulled in about $80,000. We had a great apartment, hit all the trendy spots, the whole 9 yards. Then last March, my world shifted. My company came to me with an offer that was, frankly, life-changing. They were opening a new R&D facility and wanted me to lead the entire engineering division. The catch? It was in a town Rebecca would immediately label the middle of nowhere. Millbrook, a quiet place of 30,000 people, 3 hours from any major city. But the compensation package? It was insane. A $450,000 base salary, potential bonuses up to $150,000, a full relocation package, and equity that could be worth millions if the facility soared. Plus, the cost of living there was a staggering 60% lower than our current city. I was buzzing with excitement. I rushed home, eager to share this incredible news with Rebecca. "Babe, I got offered an incredible promotion today." She barely looked up from her iPad, scrolling through design blogs. "That's great. When do you start? We should celebrate." Her casual dismissal already stung a little. "Well, there's something we need to talk about." I started a knot forming in my stomach. "It's in Millbrook." Her face immediately scrunched up. "Where?" "It's a smaller town about 3 hours north, but the opportunity is—" "Wait," she cut me off, her voice sharp. "You're joking, right? You want us to move to some random town?" "Rebecca, this is division head. It's a massive career jump," I pleaded, trying to convey the gravity of it. She laughed then. Not a happy, celebratory laugh, but a cold, dismissive one. "Brian, I'm not moving to some boring small town for your job. My entire career is here. My clients, my network, everything." I tried to reason with her. You could build a new client base. Interior designers work everywhere. She scoffed. "In a town of 30,000? What am I supposed to do? Redesign barns." Her words felt like a punch. "That's not fair," I countered, my voice tight. "No, what's not fair?" she yelled, standing up, her anger radiating. "Is you even considering dragging me to the middle of nowhere? We have a life here. Our friends are here. Culture is here. Good restaurants are here. The salary is—" I began, hoping the sheer numbers might make her pause. "I don't care about the salary," she snapped. "Money isn't everything, Brian. Quality of life matters. And quality of life includes financial security, Rebecca." I shot back, frustration boiling over. She stood, shaking with rage. "No, if you loved me, you wouldn't even consider this." My answer is no, absolutely not. I'm not moving to that boring small town for your job, or any job. I sat there, stunned, looking at the woman I was supposed to marry. The woman who hadn't even bothered to ask about the salary, what this opportunity meant for our future, or what the town was actually like. She just shut it down. "I understand," I said quietly, the words feeling hollow. "Good. Now, can we please drop this?" But I didn't drop it. I couldn't. I spent the next 2 weeks obsessively researching Millbrook. It wasn't the desolate wasteland Rebecca had pictured in her mind. It had a charming downtown, excellent schools, beautiful parks, and a rapidly growing tech scene, thanks to companies like mine relocating there. Houses that would cost a jaw-dropping $2 million in our city were a mere $400,000 there. The potential was undeniable. I accepted the position. I know it sounds terrible that I didn't tell Rebecca immediately, but hear me out. Every single time I tried to bring it up, to discuss it rationally, she'd shut me down cold. We already decided. She'd snap, or stop trying to convince me to ruin my life. She refused to even look at the photos I'd found of the town or listen to the financial breakdown. Her friends only fueled her fire. Rebecca had told them about the offer, conveniently leaving out any salary details, and they all reinforced her stance. Can you imagine Rebecca in a small town? Her best friend, Natalie, cackled at a dinner party. She'd die of boredom in a week. Brian's being selfish. Another friend, Jessica, added, completely unprompted, expecting you to give up everything for his career. It's honestly toxic masculinity. I'm sitting right here, I pointed out, my voice tight. Well, it's true. Jessica shrugged, unapologetic. In this day and age, expecting a woman to follow a man anywhere is archaic. But expecting a man to turn down a life-changing opportunity is fine. I retorted, my anger simmering. It's not life-changing if it ruins your life, Rebecca said, patting my cheek condescendingly, like I was a child who couldn't grasp simple concepts. That night, my decision solidified. The next morning, I called my boss and accepted the offer. The company gave me 6 weeks to transition and relocate. I started preparing quietly. I opened a new bank account, ready for the relocation bonus and the substantial new salary. I started looking at houses in Millbrook, began the daunting paperwork for the move. About 3 weeks in, Rebecca noticed my distance. "What's wrong with you lately?" she asked one evening over dinner. "Just work stuff?" I mumbled, trying to keep my poker face. "Well, stop moping. It's annoying." That's when I knew, with absolute certainty, I was making the right choice for me. 2 weeks before my move date, I finally told Rebecca. "We need to talk," I said one Sunday morning, my heart pounding. "If this is about that small town thing again." She started, annoyance already creeping into her voice. I accepted the job. I interrupted, my voice steady. "I'm moving to Millbrook in 2 weeks. She stared at me, then let out a short, disbelieving laugh. "Very funny. I'm serious. I've already found a house to rent. The movers come next Monday." The color drained from her face. You can't be serious. We're engaged, and you made it clear that your life here is more important than our future together," I replied, the words finally free. "That's not what I said. You said you wouldn't move for my job, or any job. You wouldn't even discuss it, because there's nothing to discuss." "Brian," she cried, "you're throwing away everything we built for some job." "It's not just some job, Rebecca. It's running an entire division. It's a career-defining opportunity. I don't care if they made you CEO. I'm not moving." "I know," I said, my voice heavy. "That's why I'm going alone." She stood up, shaking with a mixture of disbelief and fury. "You're choosing a job over me. You chose your lifestyle over us. I'm just accepting that choice." Her eyes narrowed. "If you leave, we're over." "I know. You're really going to throw away 5 years for money," she spat. I almost told her about the $600,000 total compensation then. Almost. But I stopped myself. It wouldn't have mattered. She'd made her decision without even asking about the money. She didn't care about our financial future. She only cared about maintaining her current lifestyle. "It's not about money," I stated, looking her straight in the eye. "It's about respect. You didn't even consider my opportunity. You just declared your decision and expected me to fall in line because I thought you loved me." "I do love you," she insisted, tears welling up. "But I also love myself enough not to sacrifice my entire future because you think small towns are boring." The next 2 weeks were hell. Rebecca cycled through every emotion imaginable. First, raw anger. She literally threw my clothes out of our closet, told all our friends I was abandoning her, and posted cryptic messages on social media about narcissistic men who only care about money. Then came the bargaining. "What if you commute? 3 hours isn't that bad. You could come home weekends." "Rebecca, that's not sustainable." "Then I'll visit. We can do long distance." My patience was wearing thin. "You just said if I leave, we're over." I was emotional. "We can make it work." "Can we?" "You won't even visit the town to see it." Then depression. She'd cry constantly, telling me I was ruining her life, that she'd never love anyone else, that I was making a huge mistake. Finally, back to anger when she realized I wasn't changing my mind. Moving day arrived. Rebecca stayed at Natalie's house, having already blocked me on everything except email. Needed that for logistics, of course, getting off our shared apartment lease. The drive to Millbrook was surprisingly peaceful. For the first time in weeks, I could finally breathe. The town was even better than the pictures. My rental house was a beautiful 3-bedroom craftsman with a yard, something we could never, ever afford in the city. My new office was state-of-the-art. My team? Brilliant and excited. I dove into the work. The responsibility was intense, yes, but exhilarating. I was building something important, leading a team of 50 engineers, making decisions that would affect the company's future. This was real. This was my life. Life in Millbrook was good. Really good. I joined a local gym, made friends with my neighbors, discovered some fantastic local restaurants. Yes, they existed. The town had a thriving community, farmers markets, local festivals, outdoor concerts in the summer. My work was going exceptionally well. We'd landed a major contract, and my first quarterly bonus hit $40,000. My total compensation for the year was easily on track to hit $600,000. I bought a house. Not rented, bought a gorgeous 4-bedroom colonial on 2 acres for $425,000. In our old city, that would have been worth $3 million. Easy. By the way, if you're still with me, make sure to hit subscribe. More unbelievable stories are coming. Then the messages started. First from Jessica. Hey Brian, hope you're doing well. Random question. Rebecca said you took a new position. She's being weird about it. Is everything okay? I didn't respond. Then Natalie. Brian, can we talk? Rebecca's been struggling. Maybe you two should talk things through. Also ignored. Then Rebecca's mom, Margaret, who I'd always genuinely liked. Brian, honey, I don't understand what happened. Rebecca says you chose your career over her. That doesn't sound like you. I did respond to her. Hi, Margaret. Rebecca decided she wouldn't even consider moving for my career advancement. I respected her choice and made mine. I hope she's well. Margaret wrote back. She didn't tell me it was a career advancement. She said it was a lateral move to nowhere. I didn't correct her. It wasn't my job to manage Rebecca's narrative anymore. The dam finally broke when I posted a photo on LinkedIn. It was from our division's launch party for a new product. Just a professional shot of me with my team, captioned, proud to lead this incredible engineering division as we launch Project Phoenix. Amazing what we've accomplished in just 6 months at our Millbrook facility. My LinkedIn exploded. Former colleagues congratulating me. Industry connections reaching out. And then Rebecca's email. Division head. When were you going to tell me you were a division head? I didn't respond. 2 hours later, Brian, please. I just saw the announcement. Your company's website says the division head position, the salary range. Is this real? Still nothing for me. The emails kept coming. I looked up the house you bought. It's beautiful. Jessica drove through Millbrook last week. She said, it's actually really nice. I made a mistake. Please talk to me. I love you. I'm sorry. We can work this out. Then Natalie started. Brian, Rebecca just told us about your actual position. We had no idea. She made it sound like you were taking some random job in the middle of nowhere. Hey, I owe you an apology. Rebecca wasn't honest about your opportunity. Division head is incredible. Congratulations. Even some of Rebecca's male colleagues reached out, having seen the LinkedIn post and connected the dots about why we'd split. But the best message came from Rebecca's dad, who I'd barely heard from during our relationship. Brian, my wife told me what happened. I run a small construction company, so I understand business decisions. You made the right call, son. Don't look back. P.S. Rebecca didn't know I was reaching out. She also didn't know I knew about your promotion. Margaret and I are disappointed in how she handled this. This was a twist I never expected. When I didn't respond to Rebecca's increasingly desperate emails, she escalated. First, she tried going through my family. My mom called. Brian, Rebecca called me, crying. She says she made a terrible mistake. She made a choice, Mom. So did I. But she wants to work it out. There's nothing to work out. She made it crystal clear that her life was more important than mine. I accepted that. But people make mistakes. Mom, she didn't make a mistake. She made a decision. She's only regretting it now because she found out how much money I'm making. How much are you making, including bonuses? My mom's voice was hesitant. About $600,000. Silence. Then, oh my. And she didn't know. She didn't ask, didn't care. Said money wasn't everything. I see. Mom said, a new understanding in her voice. Well, I always thought she was a bit materialistic. Now you tell me. I muttered, shaking my head. Rebecca then tried flying to Millbrook. Yes, she actually showed up. I was at a coffee shop downtown on a Saturday when she walked in. She looked different. Her usual designer clothes were replaced with jeans and a simple sweater, like she was trying to look small-town appropriate. "Hi, Brian," she said, her voice small. "Rebecca, how did you find me?" "Your neighbor told me you come here on Saturdays." "My neighbor? Unbelievable. You talk to my neighbors?" "I had to. You wouldn't answer my emails." "Because we have nothing to discuss." "We have everything to discuss." "Brian, I love you. I made a mistake." "You didn't make a mistake," I said, my voice firm. "You made it very clear that moving here would ruin your life." Direct quote. "I didn't know," she cried. "Didn't know what?" "How much money I'd make. What the town was like." My voice rose slightly. "You didn't know because you didn't care to ask." "That's not fair. Rebecca, you called me selfish. You let your friends call me toxic. You said I was choosing money over you. You threw my clothes out of the closet." "I was upset," she wailed. "And now you're here because you found out I'm making $600,000. That's not why." "Really? Then why didn't you come 3 months ago? 6 months ago?" I needed time to think. You needed time to find out what you walked away from. There's a difference." She started crying then, real tears, not the manipulative kind I'd grown so used to. "Brian, please. I see it now. The house, the community, your success. We could have an amazing life here." "I'm having an amazing life here," I said, my gaze unwavering. "Without me. That was your choice. Let me fix it. I'll move here. I'll start over. I can build a design business. There are wealthy people here who need designers, right? I researched it. There's actually demand." The irony was not lost on me. "You researched it. Now, after finding out about the money." "It's not about the money," she insisted. "Rebecca, 2 weeks ago, you posted on Instagram about small-town people with small-town minds. You were talking about here, weren't you?" She went pale. "You saw that." "Natalie sent it to me. She thought I should know what you were saying." I was bitter. "You were honest. You think you're better than people here. You'd be miserable, and you'd make me miserable again." "I've changed." "No, your circumstances have changed. You found out what you gave up, and now you want it. But you don't want me, Rebecca. You want the life my success could give you." My heart ached for the loss, but my resolve was solid. When emotional manipulation didn't work, Rebecca went legal. I got a letter from a lawyer claiming I owed her compensation for financial damages incurred due to relationship dissolution under false pretenses. Their argument? I had deliberately concealed the true nature of my job opportunity, causing her to make a decision without full information, resulting in financial and emotional damages. I laughed so hard my neighbor knocked on my door to check if I was okay. My lawyer's response was beautiful. Mr. Thompson attempted multiple times to discuss the opportunity with Miss Hartley, who refused to engage in such discussions. She ended the relationship based on her stated unwillingness to relocate regardless of circumstances. Mr. Thompson's subsequent success does not constitute false pretenses. No damages are owed. Rebecca then tried a different angle, claiming we had a verbal agreement about shared future assets since we were engaged, and that I had broken a contract by accepting the job without her consent. My lawyer shut that down too, with the added note that Rebecca had explicitly stated the relationship would be over if I took the job, thereby nullifying any implied agreements. It was a humiliating defeat for her. Then came the social media campaign. Rebecca started posting about financial abuse in relationships and how withholding financial information is a form of manipulation. She never named me directly, but all our mutual friends knew exactly who she was talking about. It backfired spectacularly. One of her ex-colleagues commented, "Didn't you refuse to even discuss the job with him?" Another wrote, "Girl, you literally said you didn't care about the money." The best response came from, surprisingly, Jessica. "Rebecca, I was there. You shut him down every time he tried to talk about it. This isn't financial abuse. You made a choice without getting all the information. Own it." Boom. It's been a year since I moved to Millbrook. The facility is thriving. My team just launched a product that's revolutionizing our industry. My total compensation this year hit $625,000 with bonuses. I bought a second property, a cabin by the lake, 20 minutes from town. And I started dating someone Amy, a local veterinarian who's smart, funny, and thinks designer labels are a complete waste of money that could go toward animal rescue. She's incredible. Rebecca, from what I hear through the grapevine, is still in the city and struggling. She lost some clients during her bitter phase when she couldn't stop talking about our breakup. Natalie apparently got tired of her constant complaints about what should have been. She sent me one last email last month. Brian, I know you've moved on. I see the photos of you and your new girlfriend. She seems nice. I wanted you to know that I finally understand what I lost. Not the money, though I won't lie, that stings. But I lost someone who was willing to build a future, and I was too shallow to see it. You were right. I didn't want you. I wanted a lifestyle. I thought that lifestyle was in the city with trendy restaurants and fancy parties. I didn't realize life could be good, maybe better, somewhere else. I'm not asking for anything. I know that ship has sailed. I just wanted to say I'm sorry for not even listening when you tried to share your excitement about the opportunity. I hope you're happy. You deserve it. I actually responded to that one. Rebecca, thank you for the apology. I appreciate it. I am happy. I hope you find your happiness, too. Brian. Final update. Last week, I ran into Margaret and Rebecca's dad at a restaurant in the city. I was there for a conference. They invited me to join them for coffee. We owe you an apology, Margaret said, her eyes filled with regret. We raised Rebecca to value the wrong things, status, appearances, what others think. When she told us the full story, the real story, we were ashamed, her dad added, his voice low. She's our daughter, and we love her. But you made the right call, son. Man to man, entrepreneur to division head. You made the business decision and the personal decision correctly. Thank you. That means a lot. She's in therapy now, Margaret said quietly, working on understanding why she couldn't see past her preconceptions, why she wouldn't even listen. I'm glad she's getting help. I replied genuinely. Are you happy? She asked. Very. My job is incredible. The town is wonderful. And Amy? Amy's amazing. Good, good, they both murmured. As I was leaving, her dad shook my hand. For what it's worth, we would have been proud to have you as a son-in-law. Rebecca knows she lost a good one. Thank you, sir. I replied, a warmth spreading through me. Here's what I learned from all this. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Rebecca showed me, unequivocally, that she valued her comfort and image over our partnership. She wouldn't even have a conversation about possibilities because she'd already decided what mattered to her. The money wasn't the point. It never was. The point was that she didn't see us as a team. She saw her life, her career, her needs, and I was either an accessory to that or an obstacle. To anyone facing a similar situation, don't sacrifice your future for someone who won't even discuss compromise. Don't dim your light for someone who thinks your dreams are less important than their comfort zone. And for God's sake, if your partner gets a major opportunity, at least ask about the details before saying no. I'm living my best life in my boring, small town, leading an incredible team, making more money than I ever dreamed, and with someone who'd move to Antarctica with me if that were my dreams led. Sometimes the best thing someone can do is show you exactly who they are, so you can make the right choice to walk away. Thanks for following along. Peace out from Millbrook, the boring small town that changed my life. What about you? Have you ever had to choose between your dreams and someone who couldn't see your vision? I really want to hear your thoughts in the comments below.